Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. Some pretty big surprising news. We don't cover leaks a whole lot on this channel unless they're particularly interesting or I think there's a ton of credibility. And in this case, I do in fact think that there is a ton of credibility for this rumor slash leak. So basically Capcom had a ransomware attack. They had a terabyte of data stolen from them, and that data started to leak as well as become translated. And among that data is, well, Resident Evil 4 for Oculus. And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. This seems incredibly likely, but before we get into all that, and we are doing a giveaway for a copy of Cyberpunk 2077, please consider subscribing. We are so close to that 3,500 sub goal, and please consider giving this video a like so that the video is able to be seen by more people. And let us know down below what you think Resident Evil 4 VR is going to be. So let's just start, like I said, with the facts that we have. And the facts that we have are Capcom had data hacked from them. That data is leaked. Among Resident Evil 4 VR, there's a lot of details on Resident Evil 8 Village, including its launch window of April, apparently. There's new updates on things like Ace Attorney, an Ace Attorney show coming to Netflix, as well as just lots of screenshots of various business slides with information on release content and schedules. So basically, there's a lot of information to work with here, and I would say that if any of it is ever confirmed to be true, then I think you could believe pretty much everything that falls in this leak window, including one of the slides that specifically mentions Resident Evil 4 VR. And not just Resident Evil 4 VR, but Resident Evil Oculus, with the word Oculus actually being in English. So that pretty much is not a translation error. That is 100% Resident Evil 4 on Oculus, and that kind of would point towards it being an Oculus Quest title. The reason I think that is because Ubisoft has announced Quest projects in the form of Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed, and Facebook has pretty much increasingly been slowing its PC VR development. Seems like Medal of Honor is going to be the last AAA VR title that we know for PC VR being developed as an Oculus exclusive. So it looks like Resident Evil 4 is going to be an Oculus Quest title. This already raises a couple of questions for me. And let's just start with the skepticism, right? Resident Evil 7 was a PSVR exclusive. Resident Evil 8 Village is presumably, it has been rumors, nothing in these slides that I've seen so far, but there's rumors that it will have a VR mode as well that will work with PSVR on your PS5 and will presumably work with the PSVR 2 when and if that ever comes out. Now, it seems odd that Capcom would develop an exclusive VR game on PlayStation VR, which they've already done with Resident Evil 7, and a Resident Evil VR game at that, and seemingly then go and make another PSVR exclusive, being Resident Evil 8, and also make a different VR Resident Evil exclusive, being Resident Evil 4 VR. It's all very confusing why they wouldn't either A, just stick with PC or PSVR, or B, just can cease development on PSVR stuff. Maybe they're just into VR now and they see promise in the market and they think they can get one of the most ported games in Capcom history out onto the Oculus platform. We'll have to see. I guess the thing that's surprising to me, and obviously this could just be a timed exclusive, is why aren't we seeing this also on PSVR? I'd say that is the number one red flag for this rumor. The next thing, why Resident Evil 4 VR? Why not a gimped version of Resident Evil 7? Why not a new game? Why Resident Evil 4? And the reason I say why Resident Evil 4 is because while this is an extremely successful, lucrative title for Capcom that's been ported many times, at the end of the day, this game is 15 years old and it won't play well in VR. And what I mean by that is it is a third-person game that's over the shoulder, the camera moves with you. This just won't work well in VR in its current existing state. If you were to just throw Resident Evil 4 into VR, it just wouldn't work. you get motion sick. It wouldn't be a fun time. It wouldn't be intuitive. It wouldn't be what makes VR good. Whereas something like Resident Evil 7, which is in first person, would definitely make for a really good portable VR experience. So why Resident Evil 4? And I think it can't be a straight port, right? I think they're going to have to really reinvent the wheel here. I can't imagine it being anything similar to the Resident Evil 4 that we know. I would imagine it would have to be in first person, and if you're going to make changes like put it in first person and redo all the controls and stuff like that, you're basically making a new game at that point. So are we going to see a new engine? I mean, I'm sure the visuals don't look that great, even the HD visuals when you're in VR at a near 4K resolution. I think they're going to have to be significant amounts of work put into this project, which again begs the question, why Resident Evil 4? What's the deal with it? And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is just when are we going to hear about this project? It seems a little odd that if this was kind of in the pipeline specifically for April, that we would have at least heard about it. And I guess my theory on that is that this is going to be part of the blowout release for Resident Evil 8 Village. I mentioned in my PlayStation 5 press video that Resident Evil 8 Village really gave me a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. I mean, just the name Resident Evil 8 Village makes me immediately think of the village in Resident Evil 4. I'm sure that's no mistake. I've personally drawn a lot of parallels to it. Seems very plausible. So with Resident Evil 4, maybe this is some kind of weird marketing attempt to put out a small VR experience featuring Leon in Resident Evil 4 that somehow ties into Resident Evil 8. I don't know, but that's the theory that I'm going with. Maybe it'll be some Ada Wong content. Hard to tell. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Either way, I am very personally excited, being that Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, period. And I think if they are willing to put significant work into this project to rework the controls and the visuals, more Resident Evil 4 is not a bad thing, in my opinion. Especially experiencing it in VR. But what do you guys think about this crazy project, crazy leak that we've discovered? Let me know down below, and I will catch you next time.